So I meant to put a little reminder on here. The reminder is that there's a test on Wednesday. Oh, that's right. That's right. You guys have a write test on Wednesday, like a school-wide writing test.
Really?
Yeah, all 9th and 10th graders.
Wait, like what we did? No.
Yeah, I think you do is it like a 5-paragraph essay?
I am not doing that.
So this is kind of a bummer. I'm gonna have to move this to Thursday, and you guys aren't gonna have like class the day before, but we're gonna do it. So, because of the write test, your test is Thursday. Regardless, you have 2 days to prepare for it, and I'll be giving you your quizzes tomorrow that we took last week. So, having a chance to look those over and do corrections will be important. Yes.
What periods does it go to?
I think it's second, third, and fourth.
No.
Yeah, you sit there for a while. Every year. Yeah, you do it all the time. I think after 10th grade, you never do that again. You hear me? So you need to do that this year, you need to do it next year, and then after 10th grade, you never do it again. Actually, but there's this class called there's a class in college that you'll have to take and pass, and instead of like 5-paragraph essays, it's like 5-page like research papers. So you'll feel the same way about 5 to 7 page papers as you do about 5 to 7-paragraph essays when you're in college.
Okay, does the grade we get on that count to any class or it doesn't?
I don't. Talk to your English teacher. She would know better than I would. All right. Anyway, this we covered Friday. It's the last thing on your test. I think it's the most difficult. Like if you look at these 3 problems, there's only one number. There's too many letters. So that can be really challenging. So I'm just gonna take each one of these step by step. So solve for the variable indicated. This says solve for W. So I look in the equation for W. And I want to get this letter by itself. So I move everything that's next to it. I move it around. Will, what'd you do? Did you do it? What'd you do? Let's kick it to Tony. Tony, what'd you do? Anybody. Let's kick it to anybody. Alicia. So close, so close. What I like about what you said is that the R and the P were on the same side.
Do we subtract P from both sides?
Right. So if I put a line here, what's preventing W from being alone is the P, which you identified correctly. Now, if I want it here, I have to cancel it. So I have to cancel the P. I'm going to subtract P here and here. And I'll rewrite it as R minus P equals W. Now, W is alone. I canceled the P out here, and that ended up moving it to the left side.
How do you know what order to put R and P in?
It doesn't matter. You could, it's, so if you wrote negative P plus R equals W, that's almost a little bit better. Almost a little bit better.
I got negative W. What? Because I brought that's still right.
Okay, let's look. So if you had negative W equals negative R plus P, or negative W equals P minus R, which one do you have? Either of these?
I have negative W equals minus R plus P.
Okay, so you have this one. Okay, so you've done everything right. Though with the negative sign, it's not done. So you need to do one more step. We'll divide both sides by -1. So that W doesn't even have a negative on it. And that'll make it positive R minus P. Yeah, he subtracted W and then subtracted R. Good. Good steps. One more step and you're done. Okay, number 2. This is a literal equation that is also a very popular formula. What formula is it? It's a formula.
Oh. I'll see.
Not a property, you get properties. What formula is it?
Area.
Well, area has an A in it. What does this have in it? Okay, getting closer. At least we're using D words. Diameter is not diameter.
Radius.
No. What a D word in math. Distance equals rate times time.
Get out
of here.
Distance equals rate times time. Okay, so we're trying to get R alone. Here's R. So this is multiplication here. What do we have to do to cancel this T out? Divide. We'll divide both sides by T. And our new equation will be D over T equals R. So distance divided by time will give you the rate. And objects is moving. Okay, number 3, just getting more and more confusing. It says to get M alone, we have an M here and an M here. So we have the variable we're trying to isolate is separated by the equal line. What do we got to do? Yeah, go ahead. You want to subtract this M? Yeah, let's take the 4M. Let's cancel it. It's a positive 4M. I'm going to cancel it. And I'm going to move it here because the M's should be on the same side. They shouldn't be separated like that. That's just kind of simplifying. And this is a much more simple equation now. I mean, not calling it easy, but it's more simplified. Benjamin, last step. Yeah, so still just trying to get this M alone. If we divide by -3, we'll end up with positive T over 3 is M. Last 2. Okay, Dominic, what letter are we getting by itself in number 4? N. So I'm gonna put an arrow on it. Let me get my head right and see what I'm looking at. You know what also helps is my equal line. It's a little visual that helps my brain kind of break down what to do. So there's 2 things over here next to N, and I want them here. I don't want them here. I want them here. What can we do? Aiden, do you have any ideas? Yeah, let's this is a positive D. Let's cancel it here. So we'll cancel it by subtracting it. Whatever we do on the left side, we have to do on the right side. So let's subtract it here as well. So the D is canceled. I have 3N. 1 minus D. I can't actually subtract 1 and D. They're not, anything alike. Okay, still working on this side of the equal sign. Still got my N in mind, trying to get alone. Last step, Sophia. How do we get this n alone? Divide both sides by 3. The opposite of multiplying 3 is dividing 3. 1 minus c over 3. I'm just going to take this moment to highlight that this is the same as 1/3 minus 1/3 d. Those are equivalent. Take that 3 and write it as 2 different denominators. Separate as 2 fractions. Those are equivalent. Okay, 5. What formula is that? Area of what? That's the area of a triangle. So you solve area of a triangle given base and height, but what if you were solving for the base of the triangle given area? That's what we would, as we rearrange that, that's what we're doing. So while there's just one multiplication dot here, this is also multiplication here. So this is all just multiplication. Put the line in. Trying to get B alone. Trying to get B alone. Kalia, any ideas? No? Not an idea there? Mikhail. What are we gonna do, Mikhail? Times 1/2. 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. That wouldn't cancel. What would cancel the 1/2? You're right. You could deal with that 1/2 as your first step.
Divide by h.
You could divide by h as your first step. Let me just adjust this first though. If this was how would you get rid of this fraction? Times 2, or all in one step you could times 2/5 to both sides.
Oh yeah.
So you could see this the same way. How do you get rid of this fraction? Times 2.
Oh yeah.
Times 2 would do the same thing. So we just heard a lot of different things that could work. Anybody start yet? Anybody do a first step yet? What'd you do? You could divide by h. We could. We could multiply 2 or multiply 1. We could deal with the 1/2 first, or you could deal with the h first. Either way. Let's go ahead and divide by h. Okay, now we'll get rid of the fraction. Logan, how do we get rid of the fraction? Which would be? So if I multiply by 2/1, that'll cancel 1/2. I don't know, I could just do the dot, I guess. So that gets rid of this fraction. 2/1 times a/h could just be, could write it like that. Or like that. Or the whole thing over h. All of those are correct. Anybody have a question? Yeah. On the board? Well, Libby, what'd you do? We're trying to get this piece here alone. Put my line in. What'd you do? Times 5 on both sides. Okay, so when it's one big fraction, getting rid of that fraction first step. So do a big 5 on both sides. Multiplying this by 5 cancels the fraction. Leaves you with P plus 9 equals 5R. So R times 5, 5R, same thing. Written this way is more recognizable.
So when I minus 9 on both sides?
Minus 9 on both sides. And P equals 5R. Take away 9.
What?
But did you work on other classes when you got home? What was happening in your midnight? What did you do?
It's just a getaway.
So you have time to revisit your class?
Yeah. I don't know why they don't have me. Wait, is Brandon from
Alright, 13. System out looking, trying to make corrections. If you want to take a picture or write the answers down and retry them again later, that's fine. And then here's number 1 and 3. Alright, so for the rest of class, which is pretty good, like 20, 45 minutes. No. You're gonna work in your textbook, the big blue book. You're gonna begin reviewing the chapter. The problems I've assigned are percent change problems and zero equations. So, I want to give you a chance to look at your own notes for the percent change portion. Please use the fractions on your percent change problems. So I'll work and